booty on. Get your booty on. Hey, something, somewhere, each day feeling ripped off and given away. The shit inside now never will fall. So give me nothing, just feel it, and now the shit God page me, you'll never see the light. Who wants to see? God told me I've already got the light. Oh, I see. God page me, you'll never see the light. Who wants to see? God told me I've already got the light. Oh, I see. Each day I can feel it swallow inside something took from me. I don't feel your deadly ways. Each day I feel so hollow inside I was beating me. You will never see, so come dance with me, dance with me. Dance with me, dance with me. Dance with me. Bumpity boom, bumpity dum. Bumpity boom, bumpity bumpity bumpity. Dance with me, bumpity boom, bumpity doo. God pays me, the more I see the light. Who wants to see? God told me I've already got the light. Oh, I see. God pays me, you'll never see the light. Who wants to see? God told me I've already got the light. Got the light, 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 Try to trick and spin it, yeah, yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it. And you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? 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 In the water, see it swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rock, except the little fish bumped into me. Swear he's trying to talk to me. Say wait, wait, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is? Way out in the water, see it swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rock, except the little fish bump into me. Swear he's trying to talk to me. Say wait, wait, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is? Way out in the water, see it swimming. Feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it, yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it. And you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is? Way out in the water, see it swimming. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it, yeah. Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays "Hail to the Chief," ooh, they point the cannon at you. rock shows near Tampa. Get tickets as low as 61. You might also like The Heart Part 6. Drake, 616 in LA. Kendrick Lamar, So Long London. Taylor Swift. Yeah, some folks inherit star-spangled eyes. Ooh, they send you down the wall, Lord. And when you ask them how much should we give, ooh, they only answer more, 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 more. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no military son, Lord. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. No, no, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son. No, no, no. It ain't me. It ain't me. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire, yeah. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire, yeah. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire, yeah. You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Try to set the night on fire, yeah. Try to set the night on fire. Try to set the night on fire. delusions, for a piece to cross me over, or a word to guide me in. I wanna feel the changes coming down. I wanna know what I've been hiding. In my shadow, change is coming through. My shadow, shedding skin. I've been picking my scabs again. I wanna feel the change consume me, feel the outside turning in. I wanna feel the metamorphosis and cleansing I've endured in. My shadow, change is coming through. Now it's my time, listen to my muscle memory. Contemplate what I've been clinging to, 46 and 2 ahead of me. I choose to live and to grow, take and give and to move, learning, loving in my own chaotic insecure delusions, for a piece to move through. I wanna feel the change just come in me. I wanna know what I've been, I wanna know what I've been, I wanna know what I've been hiding. In my shadow, changing, stretching up and over me. Soften this old armor, hoping I can clear the way by stepping through my shadow, coming out the other side. Step into the shadow, 46 and 2 are just ahead of me.
Welcome, my friends, to XboxEra. If you're new here, let me fill you in. XboxEra is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, XboxEra.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best of XboxEra. Our incredible podcasts listened to in over 50 countries worldwide, our in-depth reviews, our own merch store for the coolest in gaming threads, and of course Day One, where you can track, rate and discuss your favourite games on Xbox Game Pass. We're a small, agile and independent publication, and importantly, we're completely funded by you. If you value having a publication truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. XboxEra is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers, Top, the Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andau, Frankie C, Terran H, and Britt. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to XboxEra to another level. Krat56, an assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only XboxEra's CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content XboxEra produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/XboxEra, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return. Hello friends and welcome to another episode of XboxEra Headlines. The date is November 19th of 2024. I'm Siki Mechanico, and today Jesse and I will be taking you through all of the latest in gaming news from across the industry. As a bonus for our wonderful and brilliant patrons, we make audio versions of these episodes available for them to listen to in the Patreon app. But if you're a Spotify customer, you can link the two and listen to it there instead. If you're neither of those things, or maybe if you just have Spotify, you'll see a little padlock next to our headlines podcasts. You can click that and it will take you to the Patreon app or patreon.com/XboxEra, where you can become legend by supporting us directly. What's not to love? It's been a freaking Tuesday. There's already a bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
Oh,
It's been a rather crazy weekend of news, and then a whole bunch more hits today. And
it's just the
and
crazy
I'm
busy
putting Kitty
time.
Cam on because she's right there and she's super adorable. Enjoy,
Meow.
everyone.
I had to take my kittens to the vet this morning. That was fun. They have conjunctivitis, which
Oh,
is miserable looking for two little adorable kittens. So I've got to spend my evening or some part of my evening tonight washing their eyes and then applying some eye drops. I'm sure they will love that. Probably not. Yeah, it's been a you had a good weekend. You know, everything busy
outside of
times.
this, mic should sound better now. Because I
It
figured
does.
out. So it's got with Elgato Wave 3. This is all the Black Ops 6 stuff they sent all over here. There's also the mic arm. Um, With the Elgato Wave 3, you have mic in Elgato and you have Wavelink Studio. And I was on mic in Elgato, and mic in Elgato just gives you the raw 0 settings feed. And it's a dynamic microphone, so it picks up everything. So I went in, set all the settings, was like, it still doesn't sound great. Finally realized, it's outputting through Wavelink Studio. Set that as the input.
Now we're all great.
Aces.
It does sound really good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's got a noise gate so I can yell and it shouldn't be too bad. And if I'm quiet, it shouldn't
see,
be too bad.
it's nifty. You
Yeah.
big shill. You big Microsoft Call of Duty Elgato shill that you are.
They just sent me a bunch of stuff. I was like, sure.
Okay. Yeah, we smile. We say yes to things.
Mhm.
I what did I do? I played Butcher Bay yesterday,
Yeah.
which was fun. Man, I forgot how great that game
Yeah. I
is.
wish it was
I didn't
not.
forget.
I really wish it
I know.
wasn't so tied up in rights issues so that they could get it back compat.
Yes, I wish it could be back compat, but I think it's a good uh taster session for what I think indie is going to be
Hmm.
in the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. It's
As
always
we
been them. Like you go back into
approach
the
release.
Darkness 1 and 2, which you can buy.
Oh, I loved those games.
Yeah.
Such good stuff. Good stuff.
They're a good
It's
dev. That's why I was very happy when they got them, just because I was hopeful that it would mean they get to stick around. Because
yeah. It's
until
good time.
Wolfenstein, they weren't always the most successful. They were pretty successful, but this industry doesn't always matter.
Yeah, that is true. That is very, very true.
And I can't talk about the other thing. But today, because yes, my entire weekend was just nonstop playing of things.
You've been working very hard.
Yeah.
As
And
always.
that's
As
done
always.
in time. Today, I've broken this out. Got my flight stick. Over on the other side of the table is the full-on friggin' yoke. Because I'm going to be streaming Flight Sim 24, probably starting around noon. Going as long as I can and trying to have a review out tonight if I feel like I've seen everything that I need to see to know what is truly different from 20 to 24. It's obviously the same base game, but with a ton of new tech and a full-on campaign mode now. So getting through or
Gamification.
I'm doubting I can get through the entire campaign mode, but as we are small, being first is normally the only way any of our reviews make money. But at the same point, you got to have people trust that you saw enough. So I got to feel like I've seen enough of the game, and I'll be going a long time today, just flying all over the place, trying this new game out, hoping it doesn't break. And you'll join me.
I will be joining
later
you.
on in the stream. So it's got the Hangouts
you could probably
thumbnail.
take a break then, and
Yeah.
like if you wanted to just switch to my gameplay, I'll be streaming it in ultra wide on my PC. I might dig out my hot ass not the
Mm,
one I'm sitting on,
mm.
and see if I can fool
Show
around
this
with
off.
like actually flying with a hands-on throttle and stick. That's what it stands for, people. All right, enough with the jokes about my hot ass. Um, but I'm looking forward to trying Flight Sim 2024
Mhm.
and cruising around. Yeah, that is a lot of kit. That's like a jumbo
So
jet
big.
style kit. Yeah, mine is a little bit more sensible. I have a throttle and I have a single stick, and I can control them. It's the X52 from Logitech. If
And
you've ever seen
this
that
is the other
before,
one, the more
yeah, very
helicopter
similar
focused
to
one.
that. But
Oh my
yours
god.
has, yeah, yeah. So it's there's lots going on, lots to do, lots of things happening. I'm trying to think. Oh, one little teaser before we dive into the news.
Oh, you know what
I
else I
got
got? One last thing,
you
and I
won't
can only
listen
show
to
it with
my
this.
headphones then, but
The
I'm going to let
rudders.
you interrupt me.
Bam. So people can see now on stream. They Turtle Beach also sent me the rudders, like friggin' $300, and I wondered why. They
Wow.
are incredibly well made. Like they feel like they would just come right out of a helicopter. And if you've ever done an
Jeez.
actual like hard mode helicopter with rudders attempt, shit, it's so hard because you got to actually like ride the wind, and otherwise you just start going woo. It's very fun when you're not
Yeah,
actually in a helicopter doing it.
I'm probably just going to mostly stick to this, so it's
Hmm.
fine.
Yep, I got
Um,
mine right here, ready to go whenever.
and yeah, little teaser, but I got our production company that are currently printing
Mm.
Console Wars the card game sent me some preview footage of the product before they ship it to me. I should have it around the first week of December. Um, man, it looks so fucking good. Like you've got the poker varnish and all the cards. Um, surprise reveal. I'll do a blog post about it when we've actually got it in hand. But despite the fact that the stretch goal didn't go that far, we made the Kickstarter card holographic because we love
Oh,
everybody that supported us. And we added the Spot UV to the standard edition and the hot foil to the Console Warrior edition. So basically, we added in a bunch of extras because everyone that supported us was fucking amazing. And it looks fucking incredible. I cannot wait to actually have that finished retail version in my hand. And I think when that launches and we've shipped to our backers, I'm going to do a rather extensive review program, and I'm gonna blitz as many publications and board game enthusiasts as humanly
see people
possible.
who say they'll play it actually do.
Yeah, tell me about it. Kind of funny. It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's not funny. I'm sad that you didn't play it. Maybe you'll do it for Christmas stream because that would be fun. Um, but I do think I was looking at it, and I think the more people that see this and realize that it's a game of skill and tactics and fun, that I'm still confident this is going to do pretty good, and then we can look at doing retail and stuff like that. So it's a good day. It's a good day. Um, yeah, I suppose we should talk about video game news. That's what we're here for,
There's
right?
a lot of it too.
There is. Let's dive into the banner topic, which is the Keeleys. The Game Awards 2024 nominees are out and about. Um, I think the audience here, certainly our audience, knows how you and I feel about the Game Awards, right?
Hmm. And I've
It's
seen more takes about it online lately too, because obviously people who were nominated extremely happy, but
yes,
I think there is that pervasive feeling in the industry that if it was actually about the awards, it would be in February.
yes,
Like the Oscars and the Emmys are there for a reason. Like they are at that time of year so that everyone can actually watch all the movies, and you can do that a lot faster with movies and TVs than you
than
can with
playing
video
loads of it.
games. Um, the Game Awards is just what is the zeitgeist game, because that's the main thing people who cover games will all have seen. Now they
Yes,
probably won't have all played it. I doubt for like game of the year. Astrobot Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. You've got 120 hours with Metaphor. You've got, I don't know, 50 to 100 with Rebirth. To get through Shadow of the Erd Tree, you've got like, I don't know, 100 with Elden Ring. Black Myth
yeah,
Wukong's not short. Balatro is not long, but to master Balatro is long. Like Tom Henderson have like freaking hundreds of hours in it. And then
yeah. He's a
Astrobot
machine.
is literally the only short-ish game there. Everything else is incredibly long. I doubt most of the people who do voting played all of them and a bunch of other stuff. It's just not the type of thing. It's not the industry where you can have an early award show and expect anyone to have played, let alone just seen
I
most
think
of it.
it also reflects, frankly, uh, the lopsided nature of the industry. It just does. Like,
Yeah, it's mostly going
where do
to
people play the
focus.
most?
Yeah, it's going to focus on games that are only. It will focus on the games that are always on the platform people are mostly on, and so it's
Yeah.
going to mostly focus on PlayStation 5. You'll get a decently heavy focus on Switch for anything family, because like if it's a Switch game, it's considered family, and then from there, mobile gets mostly ignored. PC only gets mostly ignored. Like it's too hard of a thing to do properly.
Yeah.
Like it is,
And
and if you try and pretend it's something that you can do right, I don't think you can.
still, you've listed the game of the year ones. In terms of Xbox, for
No
the Xbox
nominations yet again. I
group,
don't. No, they've never won.
not for game of the year. And you can play 3 of the game of the year noms on Xbox. The
With a
fourth,
fourth one supposedly coming at some point, if you take what Phil said about Black Myth Wukong
yeah. Are they
to
going to
mean it's
do a
coming.
Baldur's Gate announce type thing again?
You mean
Maybe
try and drop it at the Game
Yeah.
Awards and not be able to? Yeah.
not be able to say it because Jeff's ushering you off stage with a giant broom. Um,
Hey, Senwa Saga, the game everyone hated more than the first.
yeah,
That
yeah.
narrative still kills me. Like I
It's-
just played the first one and then I dove into the second one to have it ready for having all the gameplay up, and they're not even close.
yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, they have got nominations for Age of Mythology, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo, Vessel of Hatred, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2.
That best kills me.
But stuff around narrative, best actress, best performance, accessibility awards, stuff like that. It's fine. If you take it really, really seriously, you can go to the Game Awards website and vote for yourself across all of the categories and see what the public thinks. I personally feel like, and let's talk about the big hoo-ha. They changed the rules this year.
I don't think they changed it. They reminded people. So Jeff Gersman put up some skeets on Blue Sky and said he has always been told that anything that released in a year is eligible for everything because it sidesteps the issue of what is a game or what category. You can essentially you can nominate anything for any category if you can make a case for it.
Let's rephrase then. Let's rephrase. They clarified via an FAQ that DLCs, remasters, and remakes are eligible for the Game of the Year nomination, and I can only imagine because the judges inundated the Game Awards with, "Hey, what about Shadow of the Erdtree? Can we vote for that?" Like that's what my gut says. Like I feel like that's the clean sweep. A lot of people think Astrobot's a lock, and I think it's the next one up for a very, very high chance. But I think Shadow of the Erdtree. The thing that bugs me a little bit about it, and I don't agree with DLC being, is that you can't play Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree without having the original game.
Unless you're on PC and you hack it, and then you can use the Play Together mod and just jump right into it. But yes,
but you can't do that.
You know what?
And
one of the ones that gets me the most was Helldivers 2 and Best Ongoing.
Where's Sea of Thieves nom at this point?
Well,
come on, they released it on PlayStation.
Helldivers 2 had an amazing
chance.
launch. Great game. Amazing launch. Completely fell off player count wise due to a lack of new content, instead focusing on fixing bugs and all that other stuff. That's not best ongoing. That's not what the award should. The award should be for a game that added a ton of shit that people really liked throughout the year. Helldivers 2 had a lot of shit people really liked at launch and hasn't added a ton because they had to go through and fix stuff because of their really old engine. Like, it's not a best ongoing. It's brand friggin' new. It came out in February.
It's weird to me that that's in that.
And Destiny 2 completely fell apart. Like, people lost their shit, and I got yelled at so much for giving that expansion a 7. But I'm like, this is just nostalgia bait playing on people's emotions. If you actually go through and replay it, just as it is, it's fine. It's not great. And then the game immediately died, lost its entire freaking player count a couple weeks later. and yet best ongoing.
Sounds
It's
like
like it's
the
just because
best
it's a game
ongoing.
you know. It's like I
Yeah,
played this
yeah,
campaign, I liked it. That's best ongoing. It's like ignore the rest of the year. It had a campaign I liked. It's like that's not ongoing,
yeah,
but whatever.
yeah. But in my heart of hearts, though, I want Balatro to win because
Mm.
it's certainly up there as one of my games of the year.
It could be one of
Um,
those. Does it split the vote? Does it? Oh, a ton of people went for Elden Ring, and a ton of people went for and like there was no one
Astrobot.
consensus, and
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
all
yeah.
split up, and the Final Fantasy weebs are in there, and then Balatro just trickles by him.
But again, it's also in for Indie of the Year, which I think it definitely has a rock
And
solid chance
best indie of
to
the year
win.
and best debut indie game, as in like their first, going
Oh my
against
god.
a very strong competition of Animal Well, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and Plucky
Oof.
Squire. So that's a strong category.
Animal,
That
I don't think
category
Bucky
is more
Squire.
for you than game of the year, by far.
Yeah, yeah, like there's a lot of games there I really like.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's like game of the year is never going to be uncontroversial, just because the reality of it is, and again, this is an opinion. The reality of what it is it's an advert to sell you more games in 2025.
I bet you. I bet you Batman Arkham Shadow wins VR, and that'd be okay. It's really good. But Asgard's Wrath 2 is like the second best VR game I've ever played after Half-Life Alyx, and it should win, but it
Mm,
was last December, and it
yeah,
won't have a chance because this one's got
I
the
saw
recency
someone.
bias.
I saw someone in the chat mention it's the January to October awards. So what happens if like Flight Simulator 2024 comes out? It's currently not eligible, but then 2025 rolls around and it was released this side of the year. It's not eligible to be picked because it didn't release between
I
January
think
and October.
so. The way the cutoff is, if you come out before the cutoff, then you're not. It's coming out after the cutoff, so it could be, but it has no chance. It's like Halo and Forza Horizon 5 both came out
So
just at the
basically,
wrong point.
if you come out in those 2-3 week period,
If you're not
your
out
game
by the
doesn't
beginning of
exist.
October and you're not an industry darling like Alan Wake 2, you don't have a chance. Like
Yeah,
if you're anything of a decent length that comes out, like Dragon Age of Veilguard, probably most of the people who voted for this haven't touched it. Stalker 2, depending on whenever those codes came in, versus Monday being Friday's the cutoff. So if that was technically in before Friday's cutoff or whatever it was,
I
it
need to
probably just never has a
clarify.
chance.
My brain backfired on me then. I did read it in the chat because the wonderful Hugh sent it in as a super chat
Oh yes.
where he literally said game of the January to October awards.
Mhm.
So apologies, Hugh, for my brain
This
backfiring there and
best
misreading.
action
Thank you for
slash
the super chat.
adventure. You have a 3D platformer in Astrobot, a 2D Metroidvania in Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, a linear action horror game in Silent Hill 2, an open world stealth shooter in Star Wars Outlaws, and a 3/4 view action-ish RPG in Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. These are not similar games. This is a dumb category that makes no sense.
Yeah,
I don't
as
like it.
someone who struggled to come up with 12 categories for console wars of the card game, I empathize somewhat. I don't know. I dislike it, but it is what it is. I'm just a salty Xbox. Whatever label you want to throw on me, Twitter, you
You tell
go
me the
ahead.
best fighting games this year also include a collection of ROMs. I mean, the Marvel vs. Capcom games are good. Like that stuff's good, but it's really weird to see that as a game of the year. And it's an okay compilation of good games. It has rollback netcode, which is great, but it does not have crossplay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
What else is there to say? Fallout's got a nomination in Best Adaptation. That's
Mhm.
probably going to be a win. I think. I don't think there's a better. What's it
Mm,
up against? You've got the website open. What's it up against in
oh, you know what
adaptations?
kills me too? Best sports games does not have College Football 25, the biggest
The
selling
thing that
game of the
went
year.
absolutely
Yeah,
crazy.
the biggest selling thing on the goddamn planet for sports, but it's got Top Spin 2K25, which I think
Ugh,
I gave a 4 or a 5, and I still
you
don't
did not
understand.
like it.
Myself and Nick, who are both really excited about it because we really like Top Spin, we're both like, this plays like ass. But there it is. It's funny to see
What was
Space
it?
Marine
What
2
was
up
it?
for
What were the
multiplayer.
Yeah,
Uh,
Space Marine 2 needed more nominations.
Best
What was
adaptation, Arcane, which will win, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon
uh
Yakuza, which shouldn't be up there, and Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft cartoon. I
I
think it'll
feel
probably be Arcane, but Arcane's already won as well, so.
that's the thing that bugs me about Erdtree as well. It's like Elden Ring's had its game of the year,
Mhm.
you know? Like,
If I,
like there's so many other games this year, like Space Marine, that could have been in that slot.
Prince of Persia, there's a
And
billion.
Prince of Persia.
Just having it at the 5 doesn't work. I could have sworn it was more last year. But yeah, just having the 5 for Game of the Year, it's not enough. It also does show Metacritic doesn't matter because Black Myth Wukong's like an 81, I think. And people don't care. It's going up against that 95. I think Balatro's pretty high in the 80s. Sadly, not in the 90s somehow, because I swear to Christ, but anything Western devved is nearly impossible to get over 90 anymore. Like everything that's, if you go on OpenCritic and you look at their Hall of Fame for the year, OpenCritic, like their top, I think. So Japanese dev, Japanese dev, Japanese dev, Japanese dev. Hey, Balatro is a 91. Take it back. And Satisfactory, which was robbed, is a 91. Then Japanese dev, or Southeast Asian dev. I actually don't know on this one. These ones kill me. The Crimson Diamond. What do you got? 8 reviews. But it's up there. That's the thing. These smaller games struggle so hard to get. Oh, then there's 2 more Western dev ones here. I take it back. UFO 50 and Hades 2 are up there. God, Hades 2 is so good.
UFO 50 captured the zeitgeist a bit, I think.
Yeah, people really like Spelunky, and then that's just like a huge old collection of old feeling things that are well made. So that's barking up the older gamer coverage tree. But yeah, I continue to stand by my, if this was about the awards, it would be in February.
Fun times.
And even then, still not enough time to play everything. It's just not a thing in video games. It's not the same as the Oscars. It never will be.
No. But there you go. That's the Game Awards.
Oh, and so Nick actually wants to do something. So on Friday evening, probably around 5 or 6 U.S. Eastern Standard Time, Nick and myself might go through the Game Awards list and vote on every category using the XboxEra Twitter account. And we'll just, I don't know, it might be like an hour or 2. Who knows how long it would be. But he wants to go through and discuss and go over with chat and stuff.
On the Twitter account?
Mm-hmm. Because you have to log in to vote. I'm just going to log in, and this will be like we're locking in the XboxEra picks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they make you log in so that you can see it. And you can actually make a card that shows all of your things because it's extra engagement for him to yell at people saying, here's what I voted for. And they say, you're dumb. Why'd you vote for that? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't play most of these. That'd be the truth if people were actually truthful. Like, I like this publisher. That'd be it.
I would join you for it, but one,
he doesn't want you there.
He probably doesn't want me there because he hates me. And 2, I don't know if I could listen to Nick for 4 hours.
2 days in a row?
Yeah. Once a weekend is enough. Next up in news, Microsoft added some new games to Game Pass with November's second wave arriving today. Arriving on the service as of tomorrow. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of Chernobyl, is releasing November 20th. We have 9 Souls, which is already available on Steam, but is now coming to the service on November 26th. And Aliens Dark Descent, which is a tactics-like game, on November 27th. The standard tier of Game Pass is also getting Little Kitty Big City and Plate Up on console for November 20th.
Quite a bit leaving, too.
Yeah, there's a few things leaving. We've got Conan Exiles, Coral Island, Hello Neighbor 2, Remnant from the Ashes, Rollerdrome, Soccer Story, Spirit of the North, The Walking Dead, the final season, and While the Iron's Hot. All are leaving Game Pass on November 30th. Plus side for folks looking forward to Genshin Impact. A brief note while we're on that topic, their preload for Genshin Impact is up. It's about 100 gig. So be aware, you might have to kind of.
It's many years of an open world RPG getting extra content in. So it's a big install now.
Yeah, but Game Pass Ultimate members will get some perks for Genshin Impact, receiving recurring rewards via their in-game mailbox, starting off with, I could read these all out, but
it's a lot of stuff that's very good for new players. And it's cool that it's recurring, very similar to Phantasy Star Online, New Genesis. So that'll make my child even angrier because I will have them for a game I'll barely ever touch, and he will not.
Correct. Wouldn't even look at it. Wouldn't even grace my console.
It's
with it.
fine. It's
Don't care.
it's fine.
I like what I like. Damn it. But yes, there you go. So Game Pass, some good stuff. I know Stalker fans are very much looking forward to tomorrow. And obviously, it goes without saying, as we mentioned earlier on in the show, Flight Simulator is actually out today in about 33 minutes, according to the release schedule. The preload isn't up on
There is
Xbox.
no preload. There will not be
You
one.
have to install it. But the good news is they made it smaller this time. So it's 30 or so
30-ish.
gig.
It's in the 30s.
Apparently, we'll see. I don't know. I bet if there's an option to install everything, I might tick it. I don't know. I like to have things, and I've got a big hard drive, so why not? Giggity. Next up, in surprising news,
Really.
that certainly got people going. Oh,
It's not actually surprising if you've followed anime.
It's not, but also that's a big purchase, and I'm surprised that Sony have the funds to be able to do such a thing. That's what I'm
Sony
curious
proper
about.
spending a lot of money on, especially
Big
anime.
acquisition
Like they are monopolistic, pretty much
in
with
anime.
their
Crunchyroll and Funimation.
when it comes to anime streaming in the West, they are the only game in town anymore. So,
But
okay,
yes,
she got even cuter.
In case you've been listening to this and wondering what the hell we're talking about, according to a new report from Reuters, how do you say it in America?
Reuters.
Reuters. There you go. That's the one. That's the word I was looking for. Sony is in talks to purchase Kadokawa, a parent company of From Software. If successful, PlayStation would own the Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and Sekiro franchises, as well as a whole host of anime and manga, and lots of other things that big Japanese media powerhouse actually produces. Per the report, Sony is in talks to acquire the Japanese media powerhouse behind the Elden Ring game. Two sources familiar with the matter said, when asked to comment on their report, both Sony and Kadokawa declined to do so. So, probs. They've already got a stake in From and in Kadokawa separately.
They've got, I think it was like 18%.
I think it's 14%, including the stake they have in.
Yeah, so and if they,
it's like 2% here and something percent.
If they buy them, then it becomes 84%. I think is the total number they would own it from.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, Sony's been a close collaborator with From Software for a long time. They already have a stake. They have the IP ownership for Bloodborne and Demon Souls. But this purchase would actually give them other dev studios like Acquire and Spike Chunsoft. But I think really here, as much as everyone in gaming would focus on From Software, as you quite rightly said at the beginning of us talking about this story, the big play here is the continuing monopoly of their anime empire, as they already own Funimation and Crunchyroll. So should any company have all of that manga and anime to themselves? I feel like it's dangerous.
I mean, it already is
dangerous.
The price of Crunchyroll, I think, is doubling after they bought them and had Funimation. One thing with Sony proper is they have places like Aniplex, and Aniplex is funny because they put games everywhere, including RPG Time, The Legend of Right, which I don't know if it ever came to PlayStation, and they have a ton of Switch exclusives. So Sony proper isn't always an indication that games change on how they're being made. I would be very curious. From has been very upfront that, hey, we like being everywhere, but if they're fully owned, it might not matter anymore. It would be interesting to see.
Well, Elden Ring sold something like 25 million copies, which is a rare thing to pull off.
And Sony needs money
for a big game.
So, like, they might. It would be the. What's the strong play to try and sell more consoles? But is it going to cost us too much? Because right now, Sony as a company and PlayStation as a division are very focused on upping their margins. And it would be like Nick wanting to keep Call of Duty off of PlayStation, where it's just going to make a ton of money. Is it worth it? Will you gain enough over time? And right now, the companies are less interested in gaining over time and are very focused on making more immediately. That's why they keep firing people nonstop.
In a nutshell, I'm curious how this all plays out.
because yeah, there's the monopoly side of things on the anime front. How okay are people with this? Like
It
we
depends
saw
what
a
console do you
Microsoft,
stan.
right? Well, we saw a Microsoft under extreme scrutiny for a much larger purchase. Let's be very clear. But we had Xbox fans saying lock it up. We had Microsoft going, no, we're going to keep multi-platform franchises that already exist multi-platform. But Elden Ring, they're not franchises, they're IPs. Apart from Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a franchise because it's had multiple games, but Sony could continue their console dominance by just making them exclusive. Yeah, if you want to play the most popular games from a very, very revered developer, you have to buy a PlayStation. That's not good for the
Yeah.
PC crowd.
I do see Mort
Um,
saying Sony is still interested in consoles, and funnily enough, Sony has moved from their main metric being consoles sold to their main metric being monthly active users.
MAUs.
So they have also moved. They've pretty much done most of the major moves that Xbox did years ago because
Yeah.
they really need to keep more money. Their margins have been really bad for years now. They want them to be
I,
good.
and I wonder, speaking more broadly about the whole market and, the general negative response to Microsoft's push to more devices and, the general fan kind of like, we don't like this. We want what we kind of envisaged, which was, Xbox suddenly dominating and being a force to be reckoned with in the console market on its own without having to release their games elsewhere. If Sony do pursue let's say they're successful, they pursue an exclusivity route for everything that From Software and the other developers make. It's not just From, but From's the big key from a gaming perspective here. Will it force Microsoft to kind of go like, okay, like we can either capitulate and carry on doing, because they won't. Sony will not, at least at this point in time, or do we start locking some stuff up? Because there is an argument to be made there. If you want your console base to completely dwindle, and the opposition isn't going to go the same path as you, I can see that argument. I can understand it. I don't know if it's all going to play out that way though. Like
Mm,
Microsoft are right in that more games being everywhere. That's just my opinion, but I think they're right in that more games being everywhere, more players, multiplayer stuff especially, is great.
Sony
But
and Nintendo would pretty much be the only major publishers left who are like just one
making
thing.
hardware,
Because
yeah,
what make not making hardware, just being on one platform
one thing,
predominantly.
yeah,
Like they would be the only two left. I think it works fine for Nintendo right now because the Switch has just done more first party numbers for them than ever. Like it's
yeah.
crazy how much it's done. And as long as they don't
Most
mess it up, you'd
interesting
think it would keep
generation.
going. But with PlayStation, they are still super powered by third party. Like that is the thing that carries them. Um, so I
Yeah,
will be curious to see where they go and how they move. Like I
I'm
don't
intrigued. I'm intrigued.
I do think the multiplat stuff they have at From, I would imagine stays multiplat. They're built for that, but it would be the type of thing that could finally lead to a Bloodborne remaster or a
This is the way it
sequel.
happens.
Like that is the way it would finally make sense because like okay, now all the financials are us because before the word was from it's like well it's going to take us a long time to fix this up and then we only keep a little bit of the money. Like it's not
Yeah,
worth it financially when we can keep putting all of our stuff out on PC and Xbox and PlayStation and make more than we ever had before. So
yeah. I have got to read this message out from Tim Per 21 because nail meets head. Microsoft is always right with where the market is going, but they sometimes miss when. Yeah, absolutely,
yeah, it was actually
100%.
technically they are too late. It was years ago when all of this shifted for the majority of people who game, but they are too early for people like us and our the way we grew up with the way everything works. It's kind of
Yeah,
that technically you should have done it earlier, but technically you're doing it too early, depending on which crowd you're talking to. So
yeah, yeah. It's an interesting one. Either way, it's a developing story, but uh, it's out there. I would expect more on this
most
this
of the
week.
time,
Is this a solo bid where it's just Sony in talks,
weird.
or
YouTube crapped the bed. It should be back up now.
ah,
Yeah, YouTube said we're not available anymore, and then it came back, so it should be good.
God, YouTube is such a mess
It's
lately.
been
Sorry, folks.
so bad.
Hit
You
refresh if you
might
have
need
problems.
to refresh because, as you know, nothing happened between us on StreamYard,
No,
but
we were just
YouTube
talking,
itself
and then
went. Bleh.
YouTube had a yeah. But the thing I was saying was, I don't know. Is this like because obviously Kadakawa is a publicly traded company? Yes, they're on the stock market,
I think so.
right? So is this an open gig for talks? Because if it is, multiple companies could
Mm.
technically bid for such a thing. Yes.
Yeah, people's entire YouTube apps crashed. Like the whole site just went. Blip. That's been happening. So, and it kills. Thankfully, concurrent viewers didn't die. But during the main podcast, well, we were at almost 300, and it crashed, and we went to 220, and it never got above 250. I was like, God,
Yeah.
it's a fucking thing.
YouTube really is. I mean,
It's
you
amazing
look
it
at
works.
YouTube. Yes, like the
But yeah.
concept of YouTube that anyone can do this at any time and it will just work is kind of phenomenal, and then it stays there forever.
Mhm.
I mean, in 237 episodes of the Xbox Era podcast, only one is lost to time. Funnily enough, the episode where we had Mr. Boomstick XL on,
Sorry, Boom.
we have the audio version, but that's it. So weird, but true.
Did we ever
yeah,
put that
it's-
back up and just put it into the playlist as just the audio with
As
the
audio,
thumbnail?
I have
You probably don't have to. It's everywhere else already.
Yeah. But yeah, be keen to see what happens with this one. I'd love it. Like, I would laugh if it came out. Yep, they were in discussions, but Microsoft won the bid. I would piss myself laughing. I really would.
There's no way Microsoft's doing that until they have some sort of setup in Japan to actually be able to. I mean, Kadakawa
I'd
probably run
argue-
itself a lot better, but
Yeah, if they're buying that.
yeah,
whole
that was
thing,
the problem.
you
The
guys
problem
run it.
with the problem before with how ZeniMax had it was Tango. You've got good leadership. You guys do your thing and then talk to us occasionally, and you wouldn't have to do that with Kadakawa. They would be their own thing still. But also, man, I just don't know that Microsoft's looking to do another big acquisition right now.
No, I still think it's smaller devs. I doubt it. Like I'm just saying, it would be very funny to watch
Yeah.
people absolutely freak the fuck out. Although arguably there'd be no freaking out at all because Microsoft would continue their strategy, right? Of don't worry,
Mhm.
this is still going everywhere, so don't worry about it.
We'll work out a deal to remaster Bloodborne if you let us put it everywhere.
Yeah, we'll
But yeah,
we'll buy
I
the
highly
IP
doubt
off
they would
Sony.
ever get them.
Bloodscorn, a new sequel. But yeah, there you go. Like, we'll have to wait and see, folks. It's interesting though to hear this straight out of nowhere. So watch this
There's
space.
been smoke for a while of Sony really wanting to get more manga, more anime, and get more games out of it because those games do very well versus their budgets generally.
Yeah. Friendly reminder for folks watching right now: if you're enjoying the stream and you like the content that Xbox does, hit the like button. Then, if you really love what we do, consider heading over to our Patreon, patreon.com/XboxEra. There is a free membership. You can join there.
Mhm.
But if you do subscribe, you'll get access to all sorts of cool stuff like our movie podcast, which is exclusive to patrons, as well as future content and other bits and pieces. So worth thinking about, right? Because it's how we live. Next up in news, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, out of nowhere, is getting a 60 FPS update for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles out of the goodness of Ubisoft's heart.
Mhm.
Um,
It's a really good game.
That's the one set in the UK, right?
Yep.
In
You
like
play as the
Victorian
twins,
London
Evie
or
and
something?
Jacob, I think. And you got your little friggin' grappling hook for flying up the walls. It was awesome. It got ignored a ton after the mess that was Unity. But it's one of my favorite ones. It's probably either number 2 or number 3 for the newer style behind Odyssey. Like Odyssey Origins and Syndicate are my favorites. And Syndicate is a great game. Played through the entire thing and I think most of its DLC, if not all of it. I think they had a Jack the Ripper one because, of course, that's what you guys are famous for. Yeah, it's a really, really good game.
Yeah, that's it. Just a murderer that,
brutalized
raped and
women.
abused women.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Free update.
UK.
It's so they pointed out PS5 Pro, PS5, and Series X and S, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna look the same on almost all of it. It's so old. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. It's cool.
I don't have the time to play through it again, but I would highly recommend it to anyone that does.
Yeah, I might even own a copy, I think, bizarrely.
They sell them for
Um,
like $3.
yeah, they're so cheap. Ubisoft games suffer the bomb of price drops harder than any other developer, I think.
Hmm.
Elsewhere in news, Stalker 2 fans that were looking forward to the game and had preloaded the 140 odd gigs of it were surprised and a little bit frustrated with a patch that released that was, well, it was the entire game again with another 139 gig patch to download. Um, if you're listening now and you're planning on playing Stalker 2 when it drops tomorrow and you think to yourself, I've got it all preloaded and everything's great, go and check. Make sure that you've got that
Hmm.
other update downloaded because you don't want to be frustrated
And
come
it's out the
digital
same.
launch.
It's out exactly one day after Flight Sim. It's 24 hours. So 11 a.m. I
Yes,
think is the time on
it's out in
tomorrow.
24 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
And also, I
just
think
be
Ben Angela
aware.
reminded me, Syndicate was a Games with Gold title.
Oh, I probably definitely own
Yeah.
it
So
then.
that's why
Great.
most people here probably have it. But yes,
Cool.
Stalker 2, we will hopefully have a review at some point. I know Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming stated the review embargo is 2 hours before launch. We'll see. Generally, when that happens, people go, oh no, it must be in terrible shape. It might be. But also, it doesn't mean anything because if codes generally come in late, they try and give people as long as they can to actually
Especially for big
get things done.
games.
Yeah. And they have stated this one's a pretty big game. The over 60 kilometers squared map. So it's probably not going to be a quicken.
Hmm. But yes, fun times. Obviously, Stalker 2 is a Game Pass game. So
Mm.
if you're a Game Pass subscriber, Ultimate or PC, grab it. Next up, just some little things before we close things
This is
out.
a
The
nice one.
Xbox Store has been updated to show supported platforms under the game title. Now, if you're like us, you're kind of like, yeah, the Xbox Store's okay, but then also it's really weird in that it sometimes just doesn't list stuff that you would think. And I'm talking about the Xbox Store, not Microsoft Store on PC, which had already listed like playable on, but only really if it's a Play Anywhere title. This is for the Microsoft Store on Xbox, the Xbox actual store, and it now shows supported platforms on the web for content beneath the game's title.
Not all
Instead
of
of it
them.
being
It seems to
wedged.
be being added over time. Because if you look at say I just pulled up Halo Infinite, it's
Yeah.
not showing it here like it is on the newer ones, which I'll show in the article. So you always have to go down here. It also does include cloud
Sick.
gaming in there now, but the play
That's
with,
nice.
yeah, because like this one says play anywhere, but some play anywhere games don't say that. Instead, you have to go down and see play with PC, Xbox, Xbox Series X and S, and cloud gaming. Like you have to go
Yeah.
down to see what it would actually work on. Whereas
And
in the article, where is it? Here it is. Boop. At XboxEra.com, of course. So newer things get that play with right under the title, which you don't have to scroll down and see. It's very obvious and in your face, which is nice.
yeah. And it's worth saying, and I want to call this out. There are a group of folks when I talk about Play Anywhere that have been working really hard within the XboxEra community with one of our team, Chengus, and they have been collating a list of every Play Anywhere game that isn't actually labeled Play Anywhere, but actually is Play Anywhere. And you can buy one copy and it'll work across your console and your PC. They're working on it at the moment. I think Chengus is working on a write up so that we can share this on XboxEra.com. But I want to call out Mr. Hipshot, Terrin. I think that's the two of the guys that were working on it, and Chengus, and I think Koog as well, for all of their hard work on putting this together. So if you're a big fan, you can expect to see that on XboxEra.com soon, and then you can make some informed purchasing decisions, knowing that whatever you buy on this list will actually give you 2 copies for the price of one across 2 different devices. And hey, Microsoft, if you're watching, you're welcome to borrow this list and update your store so that everybody that doesn't know about XboxEra.com can reap the benefits. Perhaps I will just nudge it over to their PR teams to be like, "Hey, this is a thing. You could probably do this. Maybe we ping Eden. She looks after the store, doesn't she? Is it
Just to
Eden?
fix problems with it. Normally, yeah, she's part of that
That's
team.
I would
or-
consider
yeah.
the lack of a Play Anywhere label a problem. But yes, it's very cool of
Well,
the
I always
community
think
to
Play
do that.
Anywhere
So,
is you have opted into every one of these features. So, and also you can just opt into them without choosing the Play Anywhere package. That was the way it always was surmised. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm Play Anywhere. That means I get the little label and I'm doing all this for sure. Versus, oh, I'm just going to do all this. And I didn't
Yeah, I
pick
think
the Play Anywhere
there's a
label.
difference probably perhaps between being a Play Anywhere title and being a cross-buy title,
Mhm.
and that might
Yeah,
be a
and some have
difference.
cross save, but not cross buy. Like I think Spyro and Crash and as Final Fantasy 15 have cross save, but not cross buy.
Yeah. So yeah, just a heads up on that. I thought it was very cool of the guys in the community to do that. Equally, speaking of the Microsoft Store, their Black Friday sale is online and ready to rock and roll for the next couple of weeks. I think it is running until December the 11th. I want to say off the top of my head. So you can go on and save a pretty penny across a bunch of stuff. There's up to 55% off a bunch of games. We're
Not
not
their
going to go through
biggest.
every single one.
They've
It's
done
not
like
their biggest sale.
80% before, but yeah, I also think the game industry is like put things on sale
Struggling.
too often. It's not even
Yeah.
struggling. They make enough money. They just want to make more. And you do that by giving up less. I think it was
Yeah.
$50 off of select Xbox hardware and whatnot. So no one's doing huge discounts on hardware, especially.
But still, you might want to, check it out.
Mhm.
Next up, Half-Life 2's 20th anniversary documentary is out and available. If you missed us discussing this on the mainline show on Saturday, you can go and check it out to have a lowdown from that talented team on everything Half-Life. It's a really good watch. There's a bunch of unseen episode 3 footage, the mythical episode 3, and interviews with developers, etc. And Half-Life 2 is free on Steam. So you can go and just add it to your account. And it's had a bunch of upgrades. It supports ultra wide. It's got episode 1 and 2 included in the build, and it's got some developer commentary as well. So feel free, why not?
A very
Next
good
up,
game with some of the
it is a
best
good
levels
game.
ever, and some bad levels, but it's very good overall.
Yeah. It is. I like Half-Life a lot, and I've started Half-Life Alex because I figured that for a stream, people want to see me play the intro where it's not so scary and stuff. They've probably seen that bit.
I've
So I'm
streamed
gonna,
the intro and the entire game like 3 times already on our channel. So
yeah. So I'm gonna get to the bit. I've just got through the subway and stuff where I'm in there at the moment, and I think I'm out the other side of the tunnel.
Mm.
So yeah. So that we'll get that ready for Christmas time for a scary John freaking out stream. Jerks. Next up, StarCraft and all of that jazz coming to Game Pass was a thing. It turns out that Blizzard might be hiring for an open world shooter game fronted by ex-Far-Cry boss Dan Hay. This is via Video Games Chronicle and Jordan Midler. The job roles have been published following a report earlier this year that Blizzard was once again working on a StarCraft shooter. Multiple roles, including associate design director, senior designer, and principal designer for an unannounced game, are being advertised. Several of the job listings reference an open world shooter game. No further details of the game are included in the job descriptions. And this is all stemming from previous reports from Jason Schreier's new book, Play Nice: The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment. That a new StarCraft shooter was in development over there. So, cool.
When it comes to Blizzard and making new StarCraft stuff, I'll wait until I see it.
Yeah, we'll see. But there you go. Fingers crossed, StarCraft fans. But I imagine StarCraft fans really kind of just want more RTS StarCraft. But what do I know? Next up, one amusing story and one kind of sad one. Again from Video Games Chronicle and Jordan Midler, Nintendo caught a pirate via their Reddit posts and console repairs. So this is amusing. Nintendo reportedly identified a user who was allegedly pirating its software by tracking their Reddit posts and then their console repair requests and linking them to be the same person. The user used the alias Archbox online, and via this username, a firm hired by Nintendo was able to link the account, which had posted in subreddits about Switch piracy, to other posts that identified their location. This is nuts. Nintendo ninja lawyers really going all out here. Eventually, Nintendo were able to check their internal records, find a matching email address used by this individual, who is based out of Arizona, US, and sent him a cease and desist.
Yep. They've been going all out after having not previously really done that much about piracy unless it was truly egregious. Now they're like, hey, if you're messing around in public and being dumb about things, we're just gonna say screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a pretty mean company when they want to be. I deleted the last one, the Splinter Cell movie they talked about a million years ago wasn't happening. But we have breaking Xbox Minecraft related news. So I mean it's nothing
Are we
crazy.
going to watch the new Minecraft trailer live together?
No, probably get pinged. You get pinged for
Okay.
movie trailers.
That's a
It's
shame.
very annoying. You can literally only look at pictures at the most. And even then you might have to flip them around.
What's the new news? Oh yes, I did actually read about this,
Mhm.
but I forgot about it. Minecraft, as well as having a movie, they've entered the real world with a $110 million global theme park deal in the UK and the US. So you can expect Disney, Alton Towers, Legoland, Sea Life, and Madame Tussauds, and the London Eye. Merlin, who owns all of those, will invest more than 85 million in the first two attractions. They are due to open in the UK and the US in 2026 and 2027 in either an existing theme park or as new city centre attractions. Minecraft. Well, I know my
Yeah.
son will be delighted about that.
It is if the gaming industry focused on the things that most people play, Minecraft would be talked about 30% of all gaming articles. Instead, it's barely ever mentioned. Like that guy we had on, the Forges guy who went
Forge
from
Labs.
Forge Labs, went from Halo to just raking in the money, having fun in Minecraft, doing weird challenges. It's like,
Yep. It's nuts how much people will watch that stuff. And indeed, according to this article from The Guardian, written by Mark Sweeney, Minecraft is the best selling video game of all time.
yep.
And look, this is side tangent. When Microsoft talks about just making gaming bigger, that's what they look at. Oh, what's everywhere? Minecraft, Fortnite, Apex, PUBG. Shit.
Call of
We
Duty
should just do
became
that.
way bigger than Halo because it was everywhere.
Well, we should do that with our franchises because then it just makes us loads of money. Biggest best-selling video game of all time with 140 million players a month. 140 million players. That's more than the entire console hardware market, really, nowadays.
Look at
Right?
the comment in chat from Buzz Swan just got me really good.
Can't wait to visit a park where I'm accepted as a creeper. Brilliant. But it's played in territories as disparate as Antarctica and Vatican City, and there are more than 1.3 trillion videos of Minecraft on YouTube. Holy shit.
It's crazy because Minecraft was really big when they bought it, but they have like it has just skyrocketed under them, and that's always the thing that kills me when they're like, "Oh, if Xbox buys a franchise, we're just going to kill it. They know how to put out good games." It's like they have fostered Minecraft into being the biggest thing ever in gaming. Like it's not like they have no idea what they're doing with this stuff, and Minecraft is just insanely large because it's
Jungless.
everywhere, open, heavily moddable, not terrible with its microtransactions. Not
Yep,
great, but
pretty
not
reasonable.
terrible. Like it is just an enormous thing that they are happy to put any and everywhere because it pays for a lot of other stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's the benefit for people in the Xbox ecosystem if stuff makes more money elsewhere. Is the reason why they keep investing more. Because they want more Minecrafts and Calls of Duties and whatnot, and they don't want to miss out on those like they have in the past. Like they did with Call of Duty for over a decade, and they had to buy the company to get it back. So
Yeah. Mental. But hey, there you go. that is all of the news, including some breaking news at the end there. How exciting.
Mm.
I know my son will freak the fuck out in a couple of years if he's still into Minecraft. I mean, he'll be potentially nearly 13 by the time that comes out over here. So maybe he'll just finally be into something else. I don't know. But hey, there you go. We've enjoyed having you, and thank you for hanging around to chat. As always, be sure to hit that like button before you depart for the day. We'll be back later on tonight. You can stick around in about an hour's time for Jesse, or half hour's time for Jesse to play.
Yeah, depends. Got to
Flight
get
Sim,
it downloaded, make
set
sure
up.
it's working, and then I will start up and we'll be streaming it all day.
Yeah, keep an eye out. I'll be joining later on this evening for a bit of co-op hangouts. And then we'll be back on Thursday for more. Until then, be good to each other, play loads of cool video games, and we'll see you online. Ciao for now.
See you soon.
We all came out tomorrow waters of chaos have invaded our space. The flood on earth again. I have to find the whales that were